Hey y'all, I'd like to welcome you back to Motomarky, where we're continuing to take some excursions around Northern Ireland, this time focusing in the south of County Down and also touching into North Armagh. The roads today are fairly clear. It's a Saturday morning, a good mix of rolling undulating countryside along with some rougher high ground journeys. And the weather has been quite bright, but I've got to say it's quite cold out there today, probably averaging around 3 to 4 degrees. So taking it easy going around those corners. Well, spring is supposedly in the air, but you wouldn't quite know it. One day we have plenty of sunshine, but it's bitterly cold. The next day we have snow showers, hail, sleet, followed by rain. So summer, we believe, is around the corner, but it has been difficult getting there. I think with this year starting in 2021 with the pandemic and all the various lockdowns, I probably, like a lot of people, have been crawling through this on my hands and knees, just waiting to get some better daylight weather in the evenings or at the weekends just to get out on the bike. I have to say, biking is all I ever think about. I don't know about you. I was actually listening to something recently, and a girl on a YouTube video was asking, very much what you think about regularly and what you imagine and those things. There's actually a deeper meaning behind this, and for me, I'm always thinking about when I can get back out on the bike and where I can go on it. I think what this is probably telling me is that I have a deep longing for adventure in my heart, and the best that I can do to scratch that itch at the moment is to push out a little bit from where I live and get out onto the country roads. The difficulty I find, and I'm sure many of you find this as well, is that you know the roads intimately around the area where you live, and it takes me about 45 minutes before I'm really getting into the back country and getting into roads that I don't know. And so today I've pushed just a little bit further out, and I kind of set the GPS for my a final destination. I just picked a random town somewhere down towards the border area, Bestbrook, and I said, right, let's just kind of meander and take various roads and just generally just try and stay with a bit of reckoning and try and end up at that location. Northern Irish roads continue to remain ever deadly for motorcyclists. Already, a good number of colleagues of ours have been killed already this year under various circumstances. So it always focuses the mind every time you go out. One always hopes that you will return safely. This year, I have invested in one of the new edition Helite airbag vests. This is one of the autonomous ones. It's one of the untethered ones. I hope I never have to use it, but it certainly has given me a degree of peace of mind, shall we say, as I go out on the road and I face these other crazy road users merging into my lane and generally not spotting me. Always the bane of every motorcyclist's life. So here I am in the area known as Slieve Croob. It's essentially it's a piece of high ground in County Down, a bit rough and rugged, but some beautiful Irish country roads, which you see me running along here, generally in a fairly good state of repair. But you'll see they're quite narrow, so you've always got to be careful coming around the corners. You just never know what you're going to meet. Often, usually in this type of a road, you'll meet a tractor or some sort of other agricultural vehicle. And even as well, you just need to be wary because you'll get the young lads as well with their cars that they've souped up, and they often think they're in some sort of rally and they'll be cutting along these roads, and so you just need to be ever watchful. But I find this road pleasant, and you see we get up to a little bit of high ground soon where we get a good view of the rest of the Northern Irish countryside. And as you can see, this is fairly typical of where I live. Hedgerows, fields, particularly good for sheep and cattle, occasionally a bit of forested land and copses, and then generally sort of cottages interspersed throughout the landscape. Right, I'm going to stay quiet now and I'm going to let you just enjoy some of the beautiful Northern Irish countryside as it just whizzes past on the camera. I don't know about you, but I'm always slightly horrified when I look back on these videos. I always think I'm poodling along at about, I don't know, 30 miles an hour, at least that's how it feels to me. But yet when I look back at the videos, I feel like I'm screeching along these country roads at a rather too rapid a rate of knots. But it doesn't feel like that when I'm actually up on the bike itself. Two recent investments I've made in the F800GS that I've got here now, as you can see in the shot. I've got those muffs. I've got a separate video which I've already done giving a brief review on them. Still getting really good benefit from them. As I say, today it was pretty cold. I'll take them off whenever the temperature typically gets above 10 degrees, but certainly with our wet inclement weather, I've no hesitation in leaving them on at the moment, and they make riding very, very comfortable indeed. Also recently, well, about maybe 6-7 months ago, I invested in the Wunderlich seat. It might be called the comfort seat. I can't remember the name anyway, but it's an aftermarket seat that you can put onto the F800, and it has been transformational. I couldn't get more than about 20 miles out of the stock saddle. I've tried everything, air hawks, other types of padding, and it just made the problem just push the can a little bit further down the road. I can go 4 or 5 hours now with this new saddle without even any hint of monkey butt at all. So yeah, definitely something to look into if you're having problems with your own saddle on your own bike. I know within the motorcycling community, certainly within adventure riders, there's always an open discussion as to whether to go for tubeless tires or to go for tires with tubes. The F800GS, it comes with the stock wheels which require tubes. Already in the period of 2 years of owning it, the bike, and actually just more so recently within the last 6 months, I've had 2 punctures, which has been a little bit frustrating. On the flip side of that, I've actually got quite good now at dealing with it, able to get that back tire off and get everything more or less reassembled. The one thing I was going to comment about, and I wonder how many other people have noticed this as well, you see something done on YouTube and it all looks very easy, takes 4 minutes to do according to the video, yet whenever I go to do it, or maybe whenever you go to do it, the screw head shears, something snaps off, it doesn't come out right. I do think that a lot of these videos that are made previously have been done where every nut has been loosened and the task has been done once before, and then the person goes in to do it. I've never yet managed to do any piece of work on this bike that has gone quite according to plan, or at least the way that the YouTube video showed it. Recently there I had to change the back brakes on the bike, and basically what happened was the piston wouldn't retract, and it was a real, well, once you knew what to do in terms of a little bit of bleeding, it was able to be resolved. But everybody else was just saying, no, just push the caliper just against the brake disc and it'll just ease back in and you get plenty of space to slot your new brake pads in. Yeah, it didn't quite work out like that for me.